Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share with you my top 5 favorite face palettes. So if you guys are interested in finding out what my favorite face palettes are, then just keep on watching. Alright, so the palettes that I'm going to mention are some contour kits, some highlighting kits, a color correcting kit, just a bunch of palettes that I use very regularly. Some of them I've been using for years. You may not see them all the time on my channel, but I use them off camera a lot too, just to add variety. I like to include newer products in my tutorials and stuff. And I do have other favorites that are limited edition, so I wanted to include just the ones that you guys can still purchase. I'll leave links to everything below. And I also did a top 5 eyeshadow palettes video recently. I'll leave that below for you guys as well. And the first palette is actually the newest one in my collection, and it's the Vanity palette by Pur Cosmetics. This is the Dream Chaser palette. There's 2 of them, and this is the one that's more earthy tone. The other one is more purpley. So it comes with 4 eyeshadows, a bronzer, blush, and highlighter. I use the whole palette. I love the bronzer shade especially. It's a very warm, natural looking bronzer. It's something that's just gonna be very subtle, good for day to day. So that's actually my favorite part of the whole palette. I do like the shadows in here as well. I feel like this is a very well-rounded palette for something that's like this setup. I do have some other palettes in my collection. I have a few from Tarte that have eyeshadows, bronzers, and everything, but some of them are a little bit more random to me. The layout of it is not as cohesive. So I love all the colors in here, and it's also really perfect for summer. It's very peachy and summery and just really great for day to day. So this palette is $36. It's available on the Pur Cosmetics site and also at Ulta. Also stands up. Gotta get it to stand up real quick. So you can stand it up like that, which is really cute, and you can have it on your vanity and do your makeup all fancy like that, but I just like it like this. It's really awesome for traveling, or if you just want to have something touch up your makeup on the go, then this is definitely a great palette, and it's also super compact. So I really love this face palette, especially for one that does have eyeshadows in it too. It's very practical and the colors are really great. So next, number 4 is an older palette. I've had it for over 2 years. I have a review of it on my channel that's over 2 years old. This is $45. You can get it at Sephora. It's the Tarte Wipeout palette. This is a cream color corrector and cream contour palette all in one, which I really like. I know they make a ton of these, but if you're gonna get one, I definitely recommend this one because the formula is super consistent. It just has everything you need, and I was just thinking about it because I was looking up what other brands make similar palettes, and I feel like some of the other palettes are more, I guess dramatic for color correcting, but I feel like this is a really great color correcting palette for day to day, just to color correct any under eye circles, any redness, and cream contour. It's a really great natural palette. A lot of other palettes have really bright, intense tones to them that you're not gonna really need on a regular basis unless you're really breaking out, you have really severe dark circles. I feel like this is definitely more workable into your everyday makeup routine, if that makes sense. I use all these shades all the time. They're very natural tones. They're very complementary on a lot of skin tones, and you can definitely mix a lot of the different shades together to get your custom colors. And the cream contour is definitely great if you have a light or medium skin tone. That's what I would recommend it for. So for $45, you're getting 6 shades, which is a pretty good deal for high-end makeup. Even at the drugstore, one color corrector can be a little bit pricier, $10 to $15. So getting the 6 shades is definitely a good deal for $45. It's still pricey, but you're getting your money's worth. And the formula is really great. It's really creamy and consistent. I don't use the color correctors day to day. I use my Becca corrector basically almost every single day, but before that I was definitely loving this palette for day-to-day use, and once I run out of my Becca corrector, I'll probably go back to using this on a consistent basis, and it's just really portable and practical for traveling too. So next, number 3 is the original contour kit that everyone went crazy for, the Anastasia Contour Kit. I put this away for a while. I went back to it and realized that I still loved it, and I still use it so often. I use it probably at least once a week. I love this center shade Fawn. This is the original kit. You can customize it, but this is the lighter of the 2 of the original ones. Fawn is my perfect contour shade ever. It's cool tone, but it's also it's not overly cool and gray. It has a bit of an olive undertone, which is super flattering on me. And all the shades actually work really nicely on me. I feel like this was my original highlighter that I owned and everyone went crazy for it. But it's a subtle shade and I kind of like that because I use it for a brow bone highlight, inner corner, down the center of my face. It's so like, it doesn't even look like a highlighter compared to like what we're used to now because I've had this palette for a few years. I also use these two powders under my eyes or down the center of my face all the time as well. So this has definitely been loved. I love that you can replace it. I haven't had to replace it ever because it has so much product in there. It's $45. You can get it at Sephora, you can get it at Ulta. I just think it's still a really great contour kit. People probably don't use it as much anymore, but I still think it's an awesome contour kit. And I do really like the formula of this kit. It's definitely not the creamiest powder product in the world, but it's still really pigmented, really blendable. It's something that's like, I don't really have a problem with it. There's other shades that I like better that I'll bring up in a second, but this formula is still awesome. It's something that's really easy to work with, so I definitely recommend it. Next, number 2 is my favorite highlighting kit that you guys probably know if you watch my channel a lot. It's $45. It's the Tarte Pro Glow palette, available at Tarte, Ulta, Sephora. I just love this highlighting kit so much. I use all of the shades. They're all perfect for me. I don't know how I feel about this like little storybook thing, but I absolutely love all of the highlighter shades. I don't use the cream contour or the contour shade as much just because there's other things in my collection that I love better. I just like using my favorites over something that I think is okay basically, but they're still good. I just have products that I love a lot more. And the one downside is that you can get a lot of powder in the cream contour shade. It's like covered in highlighter, but I don't even care because I love the highlighter shades so much. I can just use these highlighters for the rest of my life and I'll be happy because it has every tone that I need. You get this shade Lit is probably my favorite in this kit. It's kind of like this goldish champagne that's really nice on my skin tone if you have like a light medium skin tone. And then also Strobe is really great for your brow bone, inner corner. That's more of a lighter shade. And then I just swatched the other two highlighters. This is Stunner. It has more of a purpley tone, but it's also super wearable. And then Fire is the deepest shade in there, but that's definitely still wearable on my skin tone. I use it almost as a blush topper. I just love this formula so much. It's so pigmented. It's super creamy. You can build it up to be super, super intense, but I like more of like a natural highlight, or I like the option of having a natural highlight and just build it up gradually. So I love this kit for $45. It's definitely a great value. It's gonna last me forever and I use it at least like maybe twice a week. I definitely still love this highlighting palette. I did a whole review and swatch video when this came out. I'll link it above me if you guys want to check it out. But I'm still loving it and I use it all the time, and you could definitely mix together the highlight shades to like customize your highlight. I do that all the time and that's why I wear it so much, because I can make it work with any makeup look whatsoever. And lastly, my all-time favorite face palette is the Lorac Pro Contour Kit. I never see anybody using this but me. I love this palette so much. I just got so excited about it. I've been loving it for I think 2 years now. It came out summer of 2015. I just remember because it came out like the week my brother got married, and that's like when I got to use it. I was so excited about it, and like their anniversary is this week, so I just love this palette to death. Obviously there's dents in every color. I don't know if you guys can see even in the contour shades. This palette is just so pigmented. It's so blendable. I do know that a lot of people don't like how pigmented it is, but I love it for that reason. It's the Lorac formula. Like their eyeshadows are super pigmented, but I love that because it just looks like skin when you apply it. It doesn't look like a ton of powder sitting on top of your face. You just need to learn how to use it, but I mean, after using it twice, you'll get that it's too pigmented, so you just go in with a little bit of powder and apply it all over your face, and it just looks like your skin tone. It doesn't look too unnatural. You guys know that's my vibe with face makeup. I like things that just look really naturally pretty, and that's why I love this kit. It's super easy to use. The colors are perfect, especially like all 3 tones in here. They're perfect for contouring. The medium contour shade is like a bronzer as well, and they just have like this really natural kind of cool tone that doesn't look too gray, which is definitely something I love. This is the light the dark, and then the medium tone. Personally, I can use all 3 tones on my skin, and I just blend them together differently depending on how dramatic I want my makeup look to be. And I think for like light to medium skin tones, you could definitely wear all of these, but even for like deeper skin tones or lighter skin tones, you could just use like 1 or 2 of them at a time. But I love every shade in this kit, and the highlighter in here is so pigmented. It's so like finely milled and creamy, which I love. You guys can see it actually does look like a highlight. It's almost white, but it's what I use for my brow bone almost all the time. For I think like a year solid, that would be the only shade I'd use on my brow bone or inner corner. And still to this day, that's like what I use at least weekly on my brow bone and inner corner. Of course, I love the 2 face powders in here. These are my favorite like under eye setting powders, or powders for like the center of my face. If my face ends up getting like red throughout the day, I'll just touch up with these 2 powders. They're just super creamy, so if you apply more powder throughout the day, it doesn't look cakey. So I really, really love this formula. I just think it's super flattering. I hate powders that look too powdery, so that's why I love this kit. And even though I do prefer more like of a natural contour look, or just like bronzer and not worrying about contour, you can definitely get that with this kit, because a little goes a long way, or you could add a lot and make it like more dramatic. So it's definitely very customizable to what you're feeling that day, and it can go with absolutely any makeup look. I just feel like it's very, very universal. So I definitely recommend the Lorac kit still after 2 years. It's definitely my favorite contour kit and favorite face palette. Alright guys, that's everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed hearing about my top 5 favorite face palettes. Definitely let me know your favorite face palettes in the comments down below. And if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you guys soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.